before the video starts. Seems that 86% of you guys watching aren't subscribed. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me very mad, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with a cherry on top of the most beautiful cake in the world. Subscribe to me because, you know, I like making money. One of the most recognizable things about Thomas and the Magic Railroad was how the film was absolutely destroyed by critics and the general audience when it came out. Many have complained that it was confusing, had bad acting, and the fact that Thomas and all his friends are barely in the movie and most of it is just random human stuff and Alec Baldwin screaming in a train conductor suit. Now, if you know me or have looked at my channel for at least like a nanosecond, you would know that I have a very slight obsession with the movie. Without it, this channel wouldn't even have existed. Now, my thoughts on the movie have always flip-flopped. You know, they've always been kind of weird. I think now, at this point, I'm kind of just in the middle on it, but I can say that there are obvious things wrong with it. And here enters the Diesel 10 Means Trouble retelling. Based on the book and various other versions of Magic Railroad, it's basically a cut-down, less confusing version of Magic Railroad. To say that this video did well is a complete understatement. I still cannot believe the overwhelming success that this video has, and I thank you all for the nice words. To celebrate this success, I think it would be fun to do a little documentary going over all the things that happened during the 6-month production. Enough stalling, let's get into it. Now, this might be a little shocking, but this goes back years ago. In 2021, some of my older subscribers who are around them might remember this, but me and another user decided that we wanted to make a rewritten version of Magic Railroad. The original script, which only exists in this one picture, was incomplete, cringy, and just bad overall. And then out of nowhere in 2022, a new script was made, and it was honestly really good. It was then filmed, then refilmed, then refilmed again. And then filming stopped. And it was just honestly really annoying for that to happen, so I just decided to film it in Roblox, which is not cinematic at all, and also I use Blue Train with Friends, which is like, if you know, you know. But there is actual footage of this. Some of you guys might actually remember this being up on the channel for a bit. I was going to post them in parts, but production completely shut down in 2023, and there were only like 5 parts completed. On June 29th, 2024, me and TheMagicRailroadStudios tried to make a series that took place after the final film. That's all I'll say on that, though. In around January of this year, I was just minding my business, watching some old Thomas videos from when I was a wee lad, and I came across this video from 17 years ago by Education Center 2000. Some of you guys might actually remember this one, but after I saw this video, I remembered that, oh yeah, there was a book with that title on the Calling All Engines DVD. I found an old YouTube upload of the Robin Smith narration from the DVD, and I thought to myself, this was actually kinda better than the film, story-wise anyways. It's less confusing and actually makes sense. Well, I mean, duh, it's a book for babies. Anyways, I then saw a couple of Trains remakes of the book, and this got me thinking, what if I extended this book and maybe did some things better that the movie didn't do? I then hit up my good pal, TheMagicRailroadStudios, with this idea, and he was like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. Sometime later, we both decided to write the thing. So we started the Google Doc on February 18th and started from there. There were many things that we wanted to bring to the table, since the book is just a simplified version of the original draft. We took bits and pieces from almost every version of Magic Railroad: the August draft, the work print, the final film, and some of the other books. Basically, our retelling is just one giant hodgepodge of different things, like different plot beats like Mr. Conductor going with Thomas instead of Lily, and extending characters that really needed it, like how we actually expanded on Splodge's character and gave them a character arc. It was always weird to me how they just rushed them at the end of Magic Railroad. We also wanted to give Lady more dialogue, because since she's basically what the plot revolves around in the final film, it's very weird how she only gets like 4 or 5 lines. One of the other really important factors was actually showing Thomas being a hero, because he literally doesn't do anything in the final film besides bringing the coal truck to Muffle Mountain. He doesn't even do anything in the famous chase anyways. It could have happened without him, since Diesel 10 is only after Lady. Why is he here? On February 19th, the script was completed, and we already had our cast, so we sent out the script for them and waited on the lines. Before I switched to Trains for this, I was originally going to use merchandise for it. I was going to use Take and Play for the main characters and Bandai text for Diesel 10. I had already had Take and Play customs of Splatter and Dodge, so it would have been perfect. I had only filmed B-roll before realizing that Trains was going to be the better option. Here's some of the footage. Before filming was to take place, I needed a new computer because my old one was shit at operating trains. So we got this nice, beautiful computer that I'm writing the script on right now, and after the lines were sent in, I could finally start filming. Since I was, and I still am, pretty new to trains, I needed to do a couple tests for footage and stuff. I used a couple of tutorial videos so I could, really understand the process of filming in trains. The videos I used were from Amtrak Guy 365, Harperman's Video Garage, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Victor Tanzig. His video was actually a major help with splatter coming off the tracks. I had also needed to choose what models I was going to use. Most of the main characters are easy, just use the TSI models. Those are good, and they had Tatmar liveries anyways, so perfect. Splodge and Lady were also super easy, just use the Clay Truck Works models. Diesel 10 was, funnily enough, the hardest model to pick out of all of them. I had a selection of, I believe, 3 models to go off of. Soda Workshops, Mainland Studios, I think he made this one, and Shirley's Garage. The Mainland Studios one was the first one off the list because while he looked great, the claw movements were very limited. The next one off the list was the Soda Workshops model, mainly because it just gets used everywhere and it's pretty outdated. Also, it doesn't really look like a TBS styled model. So that left us with Shirley's Garage Diesel 10. I really don't think we're gonna get another Diesel 10 model like this because it's super accurate, and while the claw doesn't move like the Soda Workshops model, he has a crap ton of sub meshes for pinchy, so it worked out. There is an older version of the retelling where the footage looked like shit, and I only filmed like 4 scenes before I filmed the true version. But in this one, you can actually see Soda Workshops Diesel 10 being used. Actual filming began on April 9th, and I mostly filmed every scene in order, but I did flip-flop it from time to time. The last scene filmed, besides a couple reshoots, was the shed interrogation scene. This scene scared the absolute shit out of me because I had no idea how I was going to do the scaffolding. I was going to use Gary's mod for that, as there was a destructive scaffolding model out there, but after doing some tests, it just looked bad, so I ended up doing the same way I did the shed scene later on. That's an issue I have with trains, is since it's just a simple train simulator game, you sometimes have to kind of warp your story around the functions in the game. Filming everything, including reshoots for stuff, actually ended on July 20th with this shot I forgot to film when doing the refusal scene. As for cut content, there was an entire scene cut from the thing entirely because I just didn't like how it came out. It was the viaduct scene, and I wasn't really happy with how it came out, so instead I decided to write the scene that is in the retelling where Diesel 10 passes by the windmill. I needed to make sure the scene could 1. Explain how we got to the windmill, 2. Explain why he can't go anywhere else or use a train to get to the buffers because Diesel 10's lurking around, and 3. Gave me an excuse to use this duck model because this is a pretty good model. There are also a couple shots here and there that weren't used, like these from the chase. And also the end credits were supposed to have background footage of just simple B-roll. I was also going to have a couple shots of Edward coming back from Croven's Gate. Speaking of Edward, when Thomas is talking about Topham leaving, I was going to show a scene of Edward taking him away. And I guess this shot counts too, but I mean, it was only going to be used for the teaser trailer, because I filmed it way before I did the chase. I'm pretty glad I didn't use these. I think some of them are shot pretty bad. I'm realizing this now, but I guess I filmed the Magic Railway scene twice. I'm not sure why I did that. There was also this cut line of dialogue that Diesel 10 said in the original script where it was going to show a flashback of him about to scrap a random steam engine. Now, this unfortunately went unused because Magic Railroad Studios forgot to do that line, I guess, and now I have missiles pointed at his home. As other things go, there are a lot of references and Easter eggs to different things in the retelling, and I'm just going to list them all off now because I bet some of you didn't guess on some of them. So, here we go. Diesel 10's horn throughout the retelling is the car's horn. The Car was a 1977 horror movie about a car being controlled by some evil force and unaliving people. The movie is very boring, but the car is cool because of its horn, and I mean, just look at it. That's a cool looking car. The idea for using this as Diesel 10's horn was from a video from the Magic Railroad Studios. Schemer, Stacy Jones, Lily, and Mutt can be spotted on the station platform here, and Patch is also seen being screamed at by station workers for being on the roof. The dad from the fan story, The Enthusiast, is also shown on the platform. Yes, that video. The stupid van from Haunted Henry is shown multiple times throughout the video. This entire scene is a reference to the promotional picture with Thomas and Diesel 10, as I felt it was appropriate to have our main characters talk to each other, which the final film did not do for some reason. This wasn't by me, but the sign on this station is a reference to one of the newspaper headings about Magic Railroad. The song Splodge Sing is ripped straight from Jimmy Neutron. Since Diesel 10 Means Trouble takes place in 1999, them singing it doesn't make any sense, but who cares, it's funny. The B soda machine from Baldi's Basics is shown in this shot. This wasn't even intentional, this was just a pure coincidence, but Toby in this shot pulls the exact same crane and coach model used in Tobias and the Arcane Merchant. Ivor, Mater, and Thomas using a push-pull system can be seen in these shots. A Duracell tanker is shown being pulled by Duck. The infamous pencil from the original film is shown in this shot. The missing coal truck is given an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Edward gets a brief mention here by Splatter and Dodge. The old one with the number 2?
He's not even on the railway right now.
And is seen a little later on in a flashback. This line by Dodge is a reference to SpongeBob.
I've heard better insults from a turkey sandwich.
I've heard better comebacks from a turkey sandwich. Get alive!
This line here by James is a reference to the Magic Railroad parody.
What a monster.
That's it!
You're a monster.
The "so be it" line that Diesel 10 says in the refusal scene was inspired by what Omni-Man says in Invincible.
So be it.
So be it.
This line here is a reference to the Sonic movie.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
The line that Gordon says here
I need a vacation.
is a reference to what he says in All Engines Go.
And I need a vacation.
This entire little scene here was inspired by a behind-the-scenes picture of the couple engines at Tidmouth Sheds, and Thomas and Diesel 10 were behind it. The chicken fight music is used here. This scene is basically ripped straight from Thomas and the Jet Engine, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it for references. That's quite a bit, huh? I think that's all I can say about the production of this thing. I honestly cannot thank you guys enough for all the kind words said about it. A couple weeks before it was uploaded, I wasn't sure if people were gonna like it. Glad I was wrong. And I do have to, of course, shout out my wonderful cast for voicing the characters. You all really brought this thing together. Again, I cannot thank you enough for the support and the overnight success this thing was. I mean, I have people saying this is better than the actual film. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Yeah, that's it. Video over. Yeah, goodbye.
Diesel told Sir Topham Hatt, and it's come to get me!